जस्ट हिंदी के सारे व्यूअर्स को नमस्कार एंड गुड इवनिंग। वेलकम टू स्ट्रेट टॉक। मैं आश्मिता। आज मैं आपके साथ बात करना चाहती हूँ जिस तरह यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स की गवर्नमेंट सेटअप हुई है, जो यहाँ की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, वो आपको एक सिटीजन या यहाँ के एक रेजिडेंट होने के नाते क्या राइट्स गारंटी करती है एंड उन राइट्स को आप कैसे अप्लाई कर सकते हो अगर आप एक बिजनेसमैन हो, स्मॉल बिजनेसमैन हो। एंड देन ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट, अगर आप एक स्मॉल बिजनेसमैन स्ट्रगल कर रहे हो बिकॉज ऑफ द नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट ऑफ कोविड, आपकी क्या राइट्स इस कंट्री की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन आपको गारंटी करती है, क्या आपको प्रोटेक्शंस गारंटी करती है, ताकि ना कि आपकी सिर्फ लाइवलीहुड बट आपका बिजनेस एंड आपके बिजनेस की जो प्रॉस्पेरिटी है, जो चांस ऑफ सक्सेस है, वो आप हासिल कर सकें। सो ये सारी चीज़ों पे हम बात करेंगे। ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज सम करंट इवेंट्स जिन्होंने इस चीज़ को आज डिस्कस करना हमारे लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट बना दिया है। बट जहाँ करंट इवेंट्स की बात आती है, मैं आपको सबसे पहले एक अपडेट देना चाहती हूँ। जो यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में रहने वाले NRIs जो यहाँ पे कोरोना वायरस के शटडाउन करके स्टक हो गए थे, उनके लिए इस हफ्ते इन द लास्ट फ्यू डेज जो यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में इंडियन एम्बेसी की काउंसलेट्स हैं, उन्होंने काफ़ी प्रोविजंस प्रोवाइड किए हैं उनको वापस इंडिया तक पहुंचाने के लिए। हमारी टीम पहुंची है न्यूयॉर्क एयरपोर्ट न्यू जर्सी में, आपको दिखाने के लिए कि किस तरह जो आज की फ्लाइटें गई हैं न्यूयॉर्क एयरपोर्ट से, कैसे वो फैसिलिटेट हुई ताकि इंडियंस जो अमेरिका में स्टक हैं वो वापस घर पहुंच सके।
ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਮੈਂ ਟਰਮੀਨਲ B ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ 에ਅਰਪੋਰਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਨਿਊ ਜਰਸੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ। ਔਰ 에ਅਰ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੀ ਅੱਜ 14 ਤਰੀਕ ਹੈ। 14 ਤਰੀਕ ਨੂੰ ਦੂਜੀ ਫਲਾਈਟ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਇੱਕ ਫਲਾਈਟ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗਈ ਸੀਗੀ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰੀਬ 315 ਦੀ ਫਲਾਈਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, 312 ਪੈਸੇਂਜਰ ਸੀਗੇ। ਔਰ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਜਿਸ ਤੱਕ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਫਲਾਈਟ ਵੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਫੁੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। और किस तरीके ਨਾਲ प्रोसैस ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ मैं ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਦਿਖਾਉਣ ਲੱਗਾ। ਇਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਗੇਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਲੰਬੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਕਾਫੀ ਦੇਰ ਤੋਂ ਸੀਗੀ ਔਰ ਲੋਕ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਚੈੱਕਅਪ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪੇਪਰ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਂਟਰੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਉਹ ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੈੱਕਅਪ ਹੋਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੈਸੇਂਜਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਖਲੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਾਰਮ ਫਿਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਅਗਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਮਗਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਸ ਫਾਰਮ ਦਾ ਚੈੱਕਅਪ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਟੈਂਪਰੇਚਰ ਵੀ ਵੇਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਟੈਂਪਰੇਚਰ ਸਹੀ ਹੋਣ 'ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੀਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਕੌਂਸਲੇਟ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਟੇਬਲ ਲੱਗਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੈੱਕ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੇਪਰ ਔਰ ਪਾਸਪੋਰਟ। ਅਗਰ ਫਾਰਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਲੰਟੀਅਰ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ 'ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਂਟਰੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਔਰ ਫਿਰ ਚੈੱਕਆਊਟ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਪੈਸੇਂਜਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਉਹ ਸੇਮ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਬੈਲਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਉਹ ਲੱਗੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਮ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰਵਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਆ ਕੇ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਫਾਰਮੈਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਚੈੱਕਅਪ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਅੱਗੇ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ। ਡਾਕਟਰ ਜਸ਼ ਪਟੇਲ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਟੀਮ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਪੂਰੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਔਰ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਜਸ਼ ਪਟੇਲ ਖੁਦ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ। ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ, ਅੱਜ ਹੁਣ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇਂਜਰ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਆ?
आज भी फुल फ्लाइट होएगी। 315 पैसेंजर की फ़्लाइट है, तो एटलीस्ट 312 से 315 लोग तो जाएंगे ही। लास्ट टाइम भी फ़्लाइट फुल थी, आज बड़ा ऑर्गेनाइज्ड है। लास्ट टाइम तो लाइन नीचे तक गई थी, आज लाइन यहाँ पे ऊपर ही है। वी आर मूविंग वेरी फास्ट एंड वी स्टिल मेंटेन सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग विथ एटलीस्ट 6 feet। एवरीबडी हैज़ अ मास्क एंड वी टेक एवरीबडीज़ टेम्परेचर। कट ऑफ इज़ 99.1। 98.6 हम थोड़ा विजिलेंट हो जाते हैं। Then we start screening the passengers. We ask the signs, symptoms. We go from there. If we feel patient has some suspicion of COVID, we don't take no chance. There is zero room for error. So according to that, we notify the authority. So far, none of the patient has come positive. Thank God, and we pray it remains same like this today also.
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।
Thank you.
ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਔਰ ਹੋਪ ਸੋ ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਲਾਈਕ ਗੁੱਡ ਲੱਕ ਟੂ ਆਲ ਦਾ ਪੈਸੇਂਜਰ ਦੇ ਆਰ ਫਲਾਈਂਗ। ਔਰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ 14 ਦਿਨ ਲਈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਫੇਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ। ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਇਹਦਾ ਪੂਰਾ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ।
जस्ट हिंदी कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट दीपक धमान रिपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम न्यूयॉर्क एयरपोर्ट इन न्यू जर्सी, जहां से एयर इंडिया की फुल फ्लाइट्स इंडिया के लिए वापस निकली हैं यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में से स्टक हुए हुए पैसेंजर्स को लेके। ये इंपॉर्टेंट अपडेट आपके साथ ज़रूर हम शेयर करना चाहते थे। नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द मेन सब्जेक्ट वंस अगेन, जहां पे गवर्नमेंट की इन्फोर्समेंट ऑफ द लॉज की बात आती है। एक तो होता है नॉर्मल टाइम कि गवर्नमेंट कैसे आपके ऊपर किसी बिजनेस पे, किसी इंडिविजुअल पे वो लॉज अप्लाई करती है जो इस कंट्री की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने हमारे लिए सेट की हैं। अब हम बात करें एक स्पेशल पेंडेमिक की टाइम में ये जो इमरजेंसी डिक्लेरेशन दी गई है, चाहे वो स्टेट लेवल से हो, फेडरल लेवल से हो, उसके अंडर सारे लॉज अफेक्ट हुए हैं। बट दैट डजंट मीन जो आपके राइट्स एक सिटीजन, एक रेजिडेंट होने के नाते आप डिजर्व करते हो, जो राइट्स आपको अकॉर्डिंग टू द यूएस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और गॉड गिवन राइट्स, उनको वायलेट कर सकते हैं। कोई भी गवर्नमेंट बॉडी आपके राइट्स को इवन इमरजेंसी डिक्लेरेशन के अंडर वायलेट नहीं कर सकती। देयर इज अ फाइन बैलेंस बिटवीन अचीविंग public safety, public health in an emergency health crisis versus infringing on an individual's civil liberties. And यही theme हमें बार बार अमेरिका में play out होती हुई दिख रही है, चाहे वो different protests across the country हो, चाहे वो small businesses की pleas for help ho ke we have rights as a business and our rights are being infringed upon because we are not able to do business right now. So these are the issues we're talking about. Jahan small business, small local government ki baat aati hai, we have an exclusive interview in today's program with a New York State Senator jo aapko batayenge ki kaise aap apni state level and apni local governments ke साथ मिल के उनको recognize करके आप कैसे अपनी बात रख सकते हो, अपने issues उनके साथ रख सकते हो, अपने पेन पॉइंट्स शेयर कर सकते हो, एंड जो बेनिफिट्स आपको गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड कर रही है उनको आप हासिल कर सकते हो. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द ब्रेकिंग हेडलाइन दैट वंस अगेन टाइम इज रनिंग आउट फॉर स्मॉल बिजनेसेस. इफ यू आर स्मॉल बिजनेस इन द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स एंड आपने कोई लोन, चाहे वो पीपीपीओ या जो स्मॉल बिजनेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की तरफ से प्रोवाइड किए हुए इकोनॉमिक इंजरी डिजास्टर लोन्स हैं, उनके लिए अप्लाई किया है, chances are you're having a hard time receiving them because उन लोन्स की डिसबर्समेंट ना कि सिर्फ डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी तरीके से हो रही है. दिस हैज बीन एविडेंस्ड बाय द बिगर corporations getting these loans with certain ethnic backgrounds getting these loans versus minorities versus small businesses जिनको actually इन loans की ज़रूरत है. If you look at the census data around this, the most recent census data shows us that the majority of the country is feeling a negative impact on their business as a result of COVID. And of course, there's a very small percentage of businesses जो कह सकते हैं कि हम आज की डेट में इस चीज़ के साथ बिल्कुल भी affected नहीं है. The majority, 80% and plus businesses, you can see, this is also from the census website as of May 2nd, reports that they are feeling a extremely negative impact regarding as a result of COVID on their businesses. So what happens when businesses are forbidden to open? They are forbidden by the government, by government mandate, to operate, to conduct business. एक तरफ government आपको रोक रही है कि आप business नहीं कर सकते, दूसरी तरफ वही government आपको कह रही है कि आप business भी नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन हम आपकी help करने की कोशिश करेंगे, लेकिन अगर help होती है तो good for you, नहीं होती then sorry, there's not much we can do. So you can imagine the frustration that small business owners and employees of these businesses all across the country are feeling. Take for example the recent protests in Michigan. Michigan is one example of the frustrations that are boiling over all over the United States. Michigan is a particularly interesting example because इस protest में जैसे आप देख सकते हैं जो Michigan के residents थे उन्होंने Michigan state capital को storm किया, meaning they rushed the state capital armed with guns, weapons, military grade weapons. This is something that's unique to certain states in the United States, that Michigan, for example, has laws that आप पूरी बंदूक लेके state capital में जा सकते हैं as a form of protest, and these individuals exercised that right to protest. But why are these people so upset? Once again, the issue is simple. The government is telling you that you cannot conduct business. The government is effectively telling you that as a result of this health crisis, there are certain things that are constitutionally your right, your God-given right, but in this crisis, those rights are suspended. Well, where do you draw the line? How do you draw the balance of what the government can suspend even in a health crisis and what they cannot? What they cannot suspend is your right to have a sustainable life, to make a living, to provide for yourself and your family. And if you cannot provide, then they need to step in and help. And as different states are requesting the federal government, Trump administration ko har roj states request karenge hame federal funding aur chahiye, it still remains to be seen how that funding is distributed. Today we'll focus specifically on the case of New York, where some funds were given. There was some news in New York about these funds given, but still that is not nearly what's enough for what's needed, especially as you consider that as time goes on, right now हर एक स्टेट की नीड इमीडिएट वही है जो आपको न्यूज़ में सुन रही है, चाहे वो हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए इक्विपमेंट, सेफ्टी इक्विपमेंट के लिए हो, चाहे वो स्मॉल बिजनेस फंडिंग के लिए हो, चाहे वो जो कुछ सेक्टर्स हैं जैसे एग्रीकल्चर, फार्मिंग, रेस्टोरेंट इंडस्ट्री को बेल आउट करने के लिए हो. बट as the time goes on, governments, city, state governments will require funding for more and more things the longer that these shutdowns persist. For example, they will require funding to fill their own coffers, right? अगर state government का जो उनके bank balances हैं negative में जाते हैं, how are they going to pay their bills? How are they going to pay for all of the state employees that are on the state's payroll? Like your police officers, like your firefighters, like your garbage collectors and public school teachers, all of those are paid by the state government salary, and the state governments right now are begging the federal government for more funding. Once again, when it comes to businesses, the situation is especially dire. You know, if we look at another article that says, this is just from earlier today, businesses have less than 3 months of savings on hand, and that's in a good situation. Average business, they have a month-to-month margin, and their margins are very slim when we look at these small businesses. You know, once again, think about what kind of a business a small business might be. Aapka local restaurant, aapka mom and pop shop, you know, local hairdresser, salon, you know, maybe a gym owner, you know, along those lines. So these people already, उनके margins बहुत slim होते हैं. ऊपर से आप उनको completely shut down कर दो, and you don't even give them the opportunity to reopen in a way that they can make some kind of an income. You don't create the situation, which is somewhat what we are seeing in New York. New York has had one of the strictest shutdowns in the country, and for good reason. New York State, and particularly New York City, has been the hardest hit with the coronavirus outbreak. So it makes sense that the quarantine and the shutdowns here would be as strict as they are. But once again, what do you do about all of those struggling business owners, those independent contractors, those mom and pop shops that rely on that monthly income, that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle? Like I said, you know, businesses have less than 3 months that they can, you know, sustain themselves without generating any revenue. You know, you look at the numbers here and they're staggering. And once again, ye ek good scenario mein, most businesses barely make it even a month without any incoming revenue. So the situation is growing increasingly desperate. Where businesses are struggling to find revenue, yes, the government has provided some relief, such as PPP. But even with PPP, I'm sure you have heard of all the issues that are coming out. आज की डेट में अगर हम देखें, 3/4 of businesses have applied for the PPP, and the majority of them come from a few sectors, few big sectors like agriculture, food services, and hospitality and healthcare. So you can understand that specifically when it comes to the restaurant industry, the farming industry, they are hard hit. But once again, it does not seem that they are getting help in the way that is actually needed. Once again, we keep hearing, you know, headlines के जो funding, जिनको सबसे ज़्यादा funding की ज़रूरत है, उनको नहीं पहुँच रही. So we're going to get to some of these issues. We're going to talk to a New York State Senator who will tell us that what is happening specifically with local governments in New York, and how other local governments in the rest of the country can take a lesson out of New York's playbook, and hopefully, you know, avoid some of the mistakes that were made or improve on some of the responses that were taken. यहाँ पे हम एक छोटे से ब्रेक के लिए रुक रहे हैं, but आप हमारे साथ ऐसे ही जुड़े हुए प्रोग्राम बिल्कुल लाइव जा रहा है. आप कॉल करके अपने फीडबैक, क्वेश्चन, कमेंट्स इस टॉपिक पे ज़रूर हमारे साथ शेयर करो। बट यहाँ पे हम एक ब्रेक के लिए रुक रहे हैं। मीट यू आफ्टर द ब्रेक। वेलकम बैक फ्रॉम द ब्रेक। आप देख रहे हैं स्ट्रेट टॉक, मैं आश्मिता। आज हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, वैसे इशू बहुत गहरा है एंड ये एक किसी एपिसोड में डिस्कस नहीं हो सकता, बट इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट कि इस चीज़ की अवेयरनेस हमारी कम्युनिटी में ज़रूर हो, बिकॉज व्हेन वी थिंक ऑफ आवर लाइफ हियर वी डोंट नॉर्मली थिंक कि हमारी यहाँ पे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली गारंटीड क्या राइट्स है, बट इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट। यू नो, यू फाइट टू बिकम a part of this country. Part of that is being a part of this country's political system. And जो यहाँ का political system है, of course, that is governed. It is led by the Constitution. The United States Constitution says that there are certain unalienable rights that are God-given to every citizen and resident of the country. God-given rights that no one can take away from you because they are God-given. Part of those rights are things like freedom of speech, freedom of peaceable assembly, that आप इकट्ठे होके peacefully protest कर सकते हो, इकट्ठे हो सकते हो. The right to bear arms, for example, that you can have guns, that is your right. So these are certain rights. Part of that is the right to be able to sustain a livelihood. You know, when it comes to being able to sustain a livelihood and the rest of your rights as promised by the US government, there are exceptions to when these rights can be restricted. Of course, in times of great emergency or duress, like wartime, we can expect कि हाँ जी, if there's a war going on, you know, there will be certain changes in our rights. In this kind of a public health crisis, a pandemic, even if it's an unprecedented one, it's understandable that certain rights will be infringed upon. जो आपकी civil liberties यहाँ की constitution guarantee करती हैं, उन राइट्स में कुछ चेंजेस ज़रूर आएंगे, बिकॉज दिस इज़ नॉट अ नॉर्मल टाइम. बट वेयर डू यू ड्रॉ द लाइन बिटवीन डूइंग following the letter of the law, what your elected officials legislate and tell you to do, versus having those civil liberties that are once again guaranteed to you in this Constitution by God? So that is the issue here. We have joining us later in the program an exclusive interview with a New York State Senator who will shed some light. वो अपना perspective share करेंगे कि state level government में कैसे आप क्या उनसे expect कर सकते हो in terms of a response to this kind of a pandemic, and how you can, no matter where you're living, if you're in New York or outside of it, how you can engage with your elected politicians, your local government, to make sure जो आपकी needs हैं as a member of that community are being addressed, are being met, and at the very least are being recognized. So once again, we are talking about this today because इस coronavirus में बहुत सारे victims हैं, but none probably bigger than the economy right now. And the economy is not just shut down, it is brutally hurt, and a huge reason for that is these small businesses who are effectively shut down because of the various quarantines and are not necessarily getting the help they need or that they were promised by their various government, local leaders, federal, state government officials. So we need to understand where is the fallout. These businesses, इनका क्या right बनता है as guaranteed by the US Constitution to claim that no, that these closures infringe on our constitutional rights and that there needs to be some adjustment on the closure so we can survive, so we can do business. You know, to find the balance is not an easy task. जैसे हमने आपको पहले बताया, in Michigan, for example, there is, you know, very serious protests taking place in this regard. I mean, to the extent that Michigan में protesters बंदूकें लेके state capital में पहुंचे हैं. So you can imagine what kind of a desperation is being felt by some people across the country. And of course, मैं आपके भी views इस चीज़ में सुनना चाहती हूँ. So I'd love to hear what you have to say. नमस्कार, आप live on air हैं.
नमस्ते अश्मिता जी, मैं सतीश बोल रहा हूँ शिकागो से.
जी बताइए सतीश जी.
Ashmita ji, just a few moments ago you narrated some situation about Michigan. I would like to start my little comment from that Michigan incident.
Ji.
There, one very elderly barber, he pleaded to the state that he wanted to open up his shop because he was starving and he had to feed his family. State said no. After some waiting, he still went ahead, opened the shop. State came, fined him $500.
जी
The poor fellow waited for a day. Next day, he again opened his shop. This time, the state regulators came. They slapped him with the notice of suspension of his business license, and now his shop is closed. Because as you know, the norm of this country is that once the business license is suspended, you cannot open the doors of your store anymore. So this is a kind of discipline also in this country that people do
follow the
observe
law.
that,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
he tried to open the shop, but then state did not let him do that. Now, I come back to the Illinois state from where I belong to. In Illinois, Chicago is one of the largest cities and it belongs to a big Cook County. Governor of the state said because Chicago is a very congested city and it's a very thickly populated and the number of incidences is going high and high. I think today I shouldn't say top, it's not in a positive sense, but the number of COVID-19 cases in Illinois today are the highest in the nation.
Yeah.
Now, governor is a very nice, very understanding, very hard-working person. He has been telling people, we will open the state, but slowly, but not at a pace at which you want. Here comes the question of right. I have the right to feed my family. I have the right to feed my employees.
Absolutely.
But then with every right in this country, there is another word. Use your right with common sense.
Absolutely.
See, like in Michigan, the guys have a right to carry guns to the state building. But then the common sense says that when you are assembling in such a big mob and you are going to plead your case before the lawmakers, it's utterly nonsense to carry arms in your hand.
Absolutely.
There is absolutely no danger. There are women, there are children in your vicinity at that time of demonstration. Why do you have to carry a gun with you? So that's what the people in Michigan did. That's where I wanted to draw the highlight that use your right, but with common sense. Now, coming back to the Illinois, now I'll just conclude my conversation with a very beautiful incident. As soon as the governor said that, okay, I'm demarcating my state into 4 zones and we will open the state according to each zone. Along with the Cook County, which is Chicago, the largest and the biggest county, there are 2 very small counties, Will and DuPage. Those Will and DuPage county directors and their sheriffs, they appealed to governor. They said, Mr. Governor, you cannot club us. We are very small, tiny counties. You cannot club us with Chicago. Chicago is a huge Mahanagar.
Absolutely.
It's a large population.
Ji,
We
ji.
are very thinly populated counties and we have got very few people. And the social distancing is being respected very well. As a result, we should be allowed to open our businesses before Chicago. Please do not club us with Chicago.
Right.
Governor said no. Because you are in the same proximity, the people from your area, from your boundary, they cross over to Chicago, and from Chicago they will cross over to your counties. So I cannot medically, for the safety of the people, how can I allow you? So it's not a question of taking a stand कि मैंने कह दिया तो मैं करने नहीं दूंगा और तुम जो कह रहे हो तो तुम बिल्कुल गलत कह रहे हो. ऐसी बात नहीं है. They are talking to each other in a very civil manner.
जी जी जी
finally, what happens, you know that if a state law is violated, it is the sheriff department which steps in. It's not the city police. Now it is the sheriff department which steps in if there is a state law violation. When governor said to those counties, if you try to open the shops despite my telling you not to do so, you will be violating the state laws. Now the sheriff department said that we are the people elected by these same county people. They are the citizens of the county and they are the people who elect us. Now, if they open the stores, we are the ones who are going to them and then punishing them.
Right,
and then
exactly. They're local residents. आपको उस community में रहना है, उनके साथ बार-बार मिलना है. Yeah, and you counter them for the next time you're up for re-election. Not that this is a political issue, but I agree with you, sir. You know, but the question here is, when do you draw the line between letting people take social responsibility? जैसे आपने कहा कि अगर कोई एक county में कोई वहाँ पे वायरस का स्प्रेड नहीं है एंड वहाँ पे एक लेवल ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एक्सरसाइज हो रही है, should they be allowed to take that risk? The problem here, especially for these lawmakers, is that they are not able to draw the line between the people who will not follow the responsibilities, the social norms that are, these new social norms that are given to us, versus everybody else who is following them, and everyone gets punished across the board. That's the problem that's playing out today. And in that, where do you exercise your civil liberties?
Ashmita ji, now I come to the punchline. Those director of the sheriff department, they met the county people. They called the meeting of all these business owners and they told them that you will be violating and we have to enforce the law. We don't want to punish you because we have to live together in the same county. So, till governor permits you, we request you, please do not open your stores. This is called technique of situation diffusement. So the sheriff said on TV that this is our approach in this situation. We will follow the situation diffusement policy and we will work together hand in hand. When the shops are closed, who is not inconvenienced? Everyone is inconvenienced. I need a barber a haircut for last 3 months. I need a barber shop open, but the barber shop cannot be opened. मुझे भी तकलीफ हो रही है जी. इस तरह नेल्स के लिए मेरी वाइफ को तकलीफ हो रही है और चीजों के लिए सब काफी लोगों को तकलीफ हो रही है. तो कहने का ये मतलब है जी, फाइनली एक तो थोड़ा सा पेशेंस, डिफ्यूजमेंट की तरफ ध्यान दें. हर वक्त अपना राइट अगर आप लेके चलेंगे तो फिर वो मिशिगन की तरह वो जो गन लेके वहां पे चले गए, दैट्स अ कन्फ्रंटेशनल सिचुएशन. कन्फ्रंटेशनल सिचुएशन शुड बी अवॉइडेड इन फेवर ऑफ डिफ्यूजमेंट. तो डिफ्यूजमेंट में क्या है, आप एक दूसरे की बात सुन के चले. और फाइनल सेंटेंस में कहूंगा, हर एक स्टेट ने PPP इशू किए हैं. हमारे गवर्नर ने भी जो है यहाँ के मिस्टर प्रिट्जकर, वेरी काइंड फेलो, उन्होंने जब PPP इशू किए 14 घंटे के अंदर अंदर सारे उनके जो $30 मिलियन से चले गए शिकागो में. तो जी फिर उन्होंने गवर्नर अपने फेडरल गवर्नमेंट को कह के और स्पेशल PPP फंड्स अलाउ के निकाले, पेरोल प्रोटेक्शन प्लान के. उन्होंने एडिशनल फंड्स निकाल के इस बार उन्होंने कहा कि भाई जो छोटे बिजनेस वाले हो वो आके मेरे से लेके जाओ. आपको अगर अप्लाई करना नहीं आता तो जस्ट कम टू माय ऑफिस एंड वी विल हेल्प यू आउट. तो अश्मिता जी, ये थोड़ा सा आपस में अंडरस्टैंडिंग से थोड़ा सा काम हेडेडली काम चलना पड़ेगा. गन लेके काम नहीं चलेगा. धन्यवाद अश्मिता जी. भारत माता की जय हो.
आपको भी सतीश जी के कमेंट्स बहुत ही सुलझे हुए, and they bring us to a higher level of working together, right? Yes, it's important that you don't forget कि आपको यहाँ की गवर्नमेंट, यहाँ की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन क्या राइट्स गारंटी करती है, एंड आप उन चीज़ों को भी ना इग्नोर करो जो पब्लिक सेफ्टी के वेल बीइंग के लिए इन्फोर्स की जा रही हैं. बट like the caller just said, maybe there's a happy medium. We're going to stop for a quick break. After the break, we'll bring you our interview with the New York State Senator in this regard. वेलकम बैक फ्रॉम द ब्रेक। आप देख रहे हैं स्ट्रेट टॉक एंड बात हो रही है कि कहाँ पे आपकी इंडिविजुअल लिबर्टीज खत्म होती हैं एंड जो पब्लिक सेफ्टी पब्लिक गुड है वो चीज़ शुरू होती है। वी आर डिस्कसिंग कि यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में डिफरेंट स्टेट्स में किस तरह की प्रोटेस्ट चल रही हैं आज की डेट में, जब हर एक स्मॉल बिजनेस 3 out of 4 स्मॉल बिजनेस अक्रॉस द कंट्री आर सेइंग दैट दे आर नेगेटिवली इम्पैक्टेड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ कोरोना वायरस। एंड जहाँ पे स्मॉल बिजनेसेस इम्पैक्ट हो रहे हैं वहाँ पे उनकी फंडिंग, वहाँ पे पीपीपी की डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, वहाँ पे जो हमें पता लग रहा है कि किस तरह ये फंडिंग डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रही है, किस बिजनेसेस को मिल रही है, किन को नहीं मिल रही। जब ये सारी चीज़ें आती हैं, इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट टू टॉक टू समवन जो हमें थोड़ा सा पर्सपेक्टिव दे सके कि जब ये लॉज बिल्स बनते हैं, जब ये लेजिस्लेशन बनती है स्टेट लेवल पे, वो प्रोसेस कैसे लगता है। यू नो, आई हैव टू रिमाइंड एवरीवन हियर दैट द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, इवन दो इट्स वन कंट्री, इट इज़ ए फेडरेशन ऑफ नेशन स्टेट्स। दैट यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में हर एक स्टेट के पास एक लेवल तक की ऑटोनॉमी है। दे हैव इंडिपेंडेंट अथॉरिटी टू फंक्शन विद इन ए सेल्फ sufficient network of government. So if you look at New York State, for example, this chart will show you that where the governor's office is the executive role in this. He's like the CEO of a company. He is the final stop where the bill gets signed into law. But most of the laws in the state are written in the legislative branch. Your state senators look at who they're representing in their respective districts and write laws based on their constituents. वो laws बाद में जाके governors sign करके उनको legal बना देते हैं and वो laws enforce करने के लिए आपकी judicial branch exist करती है. So this is the same framework that exists on a federal level, but it exists on a state level as well. And those are the laws जो आपकी day-to-day life को determine करते हैं, and those are the laws जो आज की date में कई लोग कह रहे हैं वायलेट हो रहे हैं एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ कोविड, कई लोग कह रहे हैं प्रोटेक्ट हो रहे हैं. सो आई वांट टू नाउ introduce you to our guest on this show. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था, we will be talking with a state senator. Joining us in this program now is New York State Senator Anna Kaplan, that represents the 7th District from Long Island, New York. Before we get started with the interview, I want to let you know, New York, once again, is one of the hardest hit states and New York City specifically, regions in the entire country when it comes to the coronavirus outbreak. What New York has done, how it has maneuvered itself can be a lesson for the rest of the country if they choose to learn from it. I would like to start the interview with Senator Kaplan by, asking you, Senator, the same question that, as we discuss these themes of, public health versus individual liberty, how do you, Senator Kaplan, how do you see the relationship between, what is needed for the public good, these restrictions, these closures that are taking place not just across the country, but especially in New York, especially in your district, versus someone's right to earn, a living, someone's right to livelihood. How do you see the balance between these two?
So I have to say that this is really a very big concern for all of us. Thank you for this great question. But I think I would like to express to everyone, losing one life is too many. We've lost already over 22,000 people in the state of New York. And we really were able to bring that curve down and flatten it and move down because of the work that New Yorkers put into this. Because they were given the information accurately. The information was not sugar-coated. It was really difficult information to give to people, but I think they understood that their health is in danger, and we as their representative want to do everything in our power first to make sure that they are healthy. But you're absolutely right. This comes at a very high cost. We see the unemployment numbers keep rising, and we need to do whatever we can as the representatives to help these small businesses.
Right.
And that's why it's so important for us now to get the help that we need from the federal government.
Senator Kaplan, you know, we understand that help from the federal government has been given out, has been distributed. A couple of rounds of funding have been provided at this stage, but there are increasingly, you know, these stories coming out that the distribution of these funds has not been done, you know, keeping in mind those that need it the most. Can you comment on a little bit about the, you know, from a legislative standpoint, what do you see about equal access to these funds, specifically PPP, for example? You know, there's so many stories we're hearing that the smallest, the minority business owners, the smallest business owners, these mom and pop shops, you know, have yet to receive funding, are not able to move forward in the process, are stuck in queue. What do you have to say about this disbursement of funds from the federal government to help small businesses?
Yes. So because we were dealing with pandemic situation, the federal government did help us with their first round of funding that went out. And we found out that it really didn't work and address a lot of small businesses. The second one has been a lot better. And I think with that, they put in $60 billion separate in a different pot just for minority and women-owned businesses to help out these small businesses. I can tell you, yesterday I held a 7-hour hearing, a historical hearing, the first of its kind on Zoom, where we had 6 different panels, over 15 witnesses coming and testifying and answering questions of senators on both sides of the aisle and assembly members on both sides of the aisle to see what we could do on a state level to help the small businesses. But what we really right now need is a big help from federal government. New York has been for decades a giver state. We always give a lot more and put in a lot more in the pot than other states. If you just tally up what New York has given in excess of in the last 5 years, it's been over 115 billion. Now New York, being the most hard hit by this pandemic, really needs the federal government's help. We need more help so that we can help our small businesses. We need help so that we can have our public schools function, our police to be able to function, our local government to be able to function. And as much as we can do on a state level, this is not something that we can do at all on our own, just with the state. The federal government has to come in and help us in this distressful time.
Right. Senator Kaplan, we absolutely, we understand the situation in regards to the state's desperate plea to the federal government for additional funding, and we are following those requests closely. You know, once again, what has played out in New York State, whether it's the way the coronavirus outbreak happened and spread, the way that the government and various officials and entities and organizations have responded to it, and where we are today economically speaking, there's a lot of lessons to be learned here for the rest of the country, once again, if they choose to learn from them. You know, your experience as a state senator, you know, working within the legislative branch, you know, what can you share with our viewers watching us all across the country about how they can engage with their local governments, what they need to be doing, and what they should be expecting in terms of an adequate response to this COVID outbreak?
So I will really suggest everyone to find out who their local governments are. If they are in part of a village, find out your mayors, your county electeds, your state elected, and your federal government elected. Please follow them. Look at their website. Look to them for accurate, up-to-date information. Don't get your information and your news from Facebook and social media. Try to get accurate, updated information that could really be helpful to you. If you have questions, reach out to them. It's their job to be your voice. It's their job to answer your questions. I have held 3 different webinars where we have been trying to help a lot of our constituents and residents with different programs that have been offered, the PPP, the economic injury disaster loans. Those are all programs that could actually benefit a lot of the small businesses, a lot of residents throughout the country, really. My concern are really my constituents and the residents of state of New York. And I want to say, I know this is a very difficult time. It's a difficult time for all of us, but we all can take comfort that we're in this together. Together, united, we will overcome this and we will come back stronger. We are going through pain right now, but I know we're resilient. This is a great country to be part of. It really is the place that immigrants come from all over and make the tapestry of what's called this wonderful country, United States of America. And I'm blessed to be a representative here in New York State. I think we live in the greatest state. Looking forward to doing more and helping the small businesses throughout the state and hopefully throughout the country. We should not be looking for different ways to go and get, for example, PPEs from out of this country. We should have that manufacturing, and I'm working very hard to see what we could do for New York to be the place people throughout the country come to for their PPE needs. With this pandemic, as I said, we're going through a difficult time. We can learn from it and we can come back stronger.
State Senator from New York, Anna Kaplan, joining us. Thank you so much for your time, Senator. We hope you'll join us again and give us more updates about your work in this regard. यहाँ पे हम एक छोटे से ब्रेक के लिए रुक रहे हैं. आप जुड़े रहो, हम ऐसे ही कन्वर्सेशन जारी रखेंगे. We'll see you after the break. Back from the break, आप देख रहे हैं स्ट्रेट टॉक एंड कंक्लूजन में मैं सिर्फ आपको ये एक बात फिर से एक बार रीइटरेट करना चाहती हूँ कि जहाँ पे आपके पर्सनल सिविल राइट्स इंडिविजुअल लिबर्टीज़ इस कंट्री में गारंटीड हैं बाय द यूएस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, वहाँ पे आपको ये पता होना चाहिए that yes, there are times that the law allows for those rights to be restricted to some degree, but that doesn't mean that those rights are completely thrown out the window. They still exist. Your God-given right, the freedom of speech, the freedom to peaceably assemble, the right to earn a living and provide for your family. These are all things that are part of the American system, that are part of the way of life in this country, that are part of the legal code in this country. To understand that, the first step is definitely to know who is your elected officials. That is not just enforcing those rights, but they're determining these rights for you in the various legislation that they draft and pass forward to be made into law. When it comes to COVID-related rights, आज की डेट में सारों के rights कुछ level तक infringe हो रहे हैं, but none more so than small business owners. Small business owners are a victim not just of all of the shutdowns, but of the shutdown of the economy itself and are suffering. And where the government, चाहे वो federal government or state government या कोई government agency or like the Small Business Administration, where they're needed to step in and financially assist these suffering small businesses, especially in the minority communities, what we've seen so far is that their efforts are falling short. So as citizens, what are we to do here? Do we just sit aside and let the government do what it needs to do? Do we take social responsibility, like the caller said, and say that, हम समझदार हैं कि हमें पता है हमने कैसे socially distance करना है एक दूसरे से, कैसे safety guidelines follow करनी है? Or do we go the route of the Michigan protesters and storm the Capitol building with AK-47s? There's no easy answer. Actually, there is no one answer to this situation. This is an ongoing crisis that we will have to resolve together. But once again, maybe there are amicable solutions that we can apply. Maybe there's some communication we can engage in with each other before we resort to such drastic measures. But in any case, हमें सारों को इकट्ठे ही इस crisis से इसको overcome करना है. So maybe our energies are best applied on figuring out how we can work together to move forward. With this, we'll close the show tonight.